Okay. Hi, everybody. What's today? The 15th, 16th. What's today?
16th.
16th. Thank you. I don't know what day it is. So, all right. Today is October 16th. And so if you were on Tony's team call last night and if you caught his live video today, either I think he double broadcasted, one was in Team Destination U, one was in Team Icon. He's been talking a lot about posting, which actually fits in really well with what I wanted to talk about today, which was posting. So he's been talking a lot about Instagram. I've been loving Danielle Prestigian's suggestions for what to do on Instagram because they've really been making sense to me. And they're easy. Like it's nothing really outrageous compared to how, kind of how we're doing things on how I'm doing things on Facebook. And it makes sense. It's like if you connect with people and you comment on their posts and you engage with their stories and you post a lot on your stories and you do really good, like really focused posts on your Instagram page, and you make sure that when you post, you're there to engage with anybody who comments, that's going to get you traction. And when you build you follow people, like the thing that I've really been liking is like how to find people to follow and get followers, because I've been like, I don't know how to do that because I'm used to Facebook and I have my like little method about how to do Facebook. But anyway, what I want to talk about is posting, because that can be scary. Like I've been doing this now for 2 years and I have a groove, but when you are brand new to this, or, when you're just coming back in, or when even I, on a lot of days, even though I know what I'm supposed to do, it's still hard because I have to figure out what to do, how to say it, when is a good time to do it, and kind of tying in some of the things that Danielle talked about, where making sure that you're engaging with people before you post. That will get more eyeballs on your post. That'll get you more likes, which will get you more comments, and more comments means that more people see it in your newsfeed. So what I want to talk about is, first, there was a couple of questions and comments, just things from our chat thread. Christina and Jennifer both talked about some things that they struggle with while posting. So I wanted to address both of those first before we get started, so I make sure I answer those. So Christina says, I don't want my post being super long because I want people to actually read them, but I feel like I need to get the point across. I struggle with that too. I'm super long-winded. Like everybody has a different way that they communicate best. Whether you communicate best speaking to people or writing, or through photography. Like if you take awesome photos but you don't really know what to say, everybody communicates differently. And so as coaches, we have to kind of grow those areas of ourselves that we're not the best at, and maybe we feel like we're just kind of okay at all of them, or maybe we're like rock at one of them and like suck at the rest of them. I've always been somebody who's been really good at coming across with words. And so I struggled with this a lot because I always wanted to type out these like multi-billion page novels on my Facebook posts. And sometimes those are awesome and there's always a place for those, but it's not every day. So a really good way to address this is, if you have something that you want to talk about, write it all out, not in your post, just write it out somewhere else, and then pick out a couple of different pieces of that story and make one or two pieces of that story a post. And then the next time you want to post on that topic, pull out another part of that. So it's basically the same thing as like writing out your story, which I know we've been talking about in Melissa's page and on Melissa's team calls, is making sure that you have your story and you write out your story, and then you can use pieces of that story and pull it out and then talk about that in shorter segments that people, don't get lost in. Like there are the people who love you to pieces and they will read every word that comes out of your fingers. We all have those people. But we want to appeal to the people who don't have a lot of time, or people who are just scrolling. We want to have them stop and read our shorter stories. So just pulling out little chunks and making them really, you can rework them and make them really focused and intense. It's almost like having like a little concentrated story that you can use. And it's okay if it's not the whole story. It's okay if it's, 2 or 3 sentences, as long as it's like this just concentrated, focused couple of sentences that really get across what you want to say. Um, and that's kind of what is pretty cool about another type of posting called breadcrumbing. Um, so really quick, or in this video, I do want to talk about the different kinds of posting. And maybe this is a good place to start is, Amber, you have something to add. Yes, go ahead. No, go ahead, because I'm going to go off on a tangent.
Something that I tried to do probably about 3 or 4 months in, because I was so freaking wordy when I was talking, is when you like write out your story, like get all of that stuff out in like a document on the side, but look at when you read through it, once you hit a point that gives you a pang of feeling. So if it makes you laugh, or it makes your heart feel good, or it makes you sad, like any of those little parts where you get like feeling, those are really the parts that you want to pull from. Don't make it like from beginning to end, like sob fest, because then people are going to be like, oh my God, this is too much. Or, beginning to the end sap, because then it's going to make people be like, this isn't real. You know what I mean? But when you're reading through the story, what people are attracted to and what makes people read your longer ones, even if they are a little wordy, is when they're like pulled in. So you want to like grab bits that incite emotion, no matter what that emotion is. If you have a little bit of those breadcrumbs through, sometimes those can make even your shortest stories the most powerful, and it'll make your slightly longer stories more captivating.
Absolutely. And that actually brings up another good point, which is using emotion in your story. It's easy for us to kind of hide behind this really superficial posting that we think people want to see. And it's scary to get raw and to get real and to, do those emotional posts about things that you're uncomfortable posting about. But those are the posts that get the most interaction. So Sunday I did a post about potty training and about being a mom and about just like not, it was just like it kind of was word vomit, but at the same time it was my emotions just coming out. I didn't even hardly edit it as I was writing it. I just put it all out there and I posted it because I was just so like frazzled. And I got so much interaction on that, and people were like, oh my gosh, I love how real you are. Thank you for sharing this. Like, I totally relate. It was just all these other people who'd been there or who were going through it and feeling like they could relate to what I was going through because of it was just pure emotion coming out. And those are the kinds of posts that's what grabs people and attracts people to you and lets people know the real you. Because as a coach, like we don't just sell products. Like we want, and Tony said this really great today in the live call or in the live video that he did. It's in Melissa's page and in Team Icon again. He said, we want people to see us as celebrities and on social media, and we want people to want to be like us, however we are. And and what he didn't say, but what I will say, is the best way for us to do that is to be real, because people love to watch reality TV. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're kind of creating our own little reality show on social media. You might think you have the most boring life ever. I have the most boring life ever. Tony has the most boring life ever. Danielle Prestigion has the most boring life ever. All these people who are not to sure, I can let myself in with them, but like, they are so successful and they literally do nothing. Like they are like male and female version of each other. They like basically live alone. They have cats. They like do nothing exciting from the outside, except for like work their business. But they make it seem, and they share the parts of real life that, people want to see, and people feel like they're part of what they're going through. And that's what people want to see through your posts. So what I want to talk about is there's a couple of different kinds of posts. So Christina was, asking about the long posts, and those have a place. But it's really important to kind of position those in the right way throughout your week and throughout your day, and at the right time so that they make the biggest impact. So there's a couple of different kinds. So one is like our product posts, Shakeology, Energize, 3-day refresh, Beachbody workouts, challenge groups, things like that. The key to those kind of posts is what's called attraction marketing. We never mention what we do. We never say the name of what we do. You never talk about Fight Club. Okay. But you never say it by name. And the reason is because if somebody sees your post, they can go to Google and they can type it in and they can say, oh, I can just go to the Beachbody website and I don't have to talk to somebody about this. But if somebody is interested in what you're doing, they're going to reach out to you and say, hey, what's that shake you're drinking? Hey, I see you've been getting really good results with that workout program. What are you doing? Then that brings them into private messenger, and you can talk to them and have a relationship with them and learn what they're struggling with, learn how you can help them in so many more ways than they would be able to have just going to the website, buying what they think they need, not having an accountability group, not having a coach to support them, probably blowing, $180 because they didn't know about the return policy, and then feeling like a failure because they didn't do it. That's what we want to avoid. That's what, us being coaches helps people avoid that. So when you breadcrumb, I really learned about this last year at Summit. So Shalene Johnson, who does PIO, she was one of the speakers at Summit, and she talked about what it is to breadcrumb. And basically you share a picture of you doing, and how whatever this product is fits into your life, and you talk about it and you say how amazing it is, but you just omit the name. That's the only thing. You can talk about anything about it that you want, how amazing it is, the probiotics, the nutrients, the fact that it's a, 4-day-a-week program, that you have a built-in cheat meal, that you have, 45-minute or less workouts, or that it's, 25 minutes a day, whatever it happens to be. You can do it in your basement. Just don't say what it is. That's all there is. So that's one type of post. So those posts are good to do every couple of days, just to be like, hey, I'm still here doing my fitness journey. Posting pictures of your meals that look really good, things like that. So the next kind of post is what's called an engagement post. And I always do one of these on Tuesdays. I've kind of gotten into this habit, and I call it Real Talk Tuesdays. And these are just posts that people want to interact on, and it is just bullshit stuff. Like, I usually post something like, what do you prefer, bacon or avocado? Or like today, I'm like, who eats breakfast for dinner? And I get a ton of engagement. And the reason I do those on Tuesdays is because I post a transformation photo on Tuesdays for Transformation Tuesday. So when you have a lot of people engaging on a post earlier in the day, and you're going in there and you're engaging with them and you're replying to them and you're starting up conversations in your thread, and everybody's having a good time on your thread, Facebook's going to be like, oh, this person is an interesting character, and we're going to show more news feeds this post from this person and future posts. Then what happens is, after you post that engagement post, when you post your next post, which you should be engaging on your post right up until when you post like the main event of the day, which for me is a transformation photo. Again, it doesn't have to be of you if you don't have one yet. It can be anybody from our team, and tell their story, tag them, make sure you tag them and share them, because their people will see it. But when you're engaging, it shows all of the people that you've been interacting with all day on that engagement post, your transformation post, or your, whatever your big juicy story is for the day or the week. So that is an engagement post. And again, it could be something like, what do you prefer, pizza or tacos? Or, if you had $1 million, would you, go on vacation or renovate your house? Like, whatever it is. People love to share their opinion, and when you give them that opportunity, they love it. So that is what an engagement post does. And they're strategically placed so that when people interact on them, they're more likely to see your post that follows it, which again is going to be something that's, a transformation post, or like a really raw post about, yourself, or like why coaching is amazing and helped you. The next kind of a post is a post about coaching. You need to share what this is as a business, even if you do not have a single thing to show for your business. You have to say, I love the community. Like, talk about what it's done for you so far. Like, if you love these team calls on Tuesday nights, talk about meeting people on Facebook that you've never met before, but who you get to connect with on a, weekly basis, who inspire you to do better. You're part of the coaching community, you get a discount, all of these things. You can share somebody else's story. You can share Tony's story. You can share Melissa's story. You can share Sarah Cohen's story. Like, Sarah and her husband just moved to Nebraska or Kansas, because her husband started grad school at Kansas State, and they built a brand new home that is freaking gorgeous. If you have not seen her photos, like, you will cry. It's so beautiful. She has like one of those pot fillers over her stove. I can't even believe it. But like, basically because she worked her ass off, and she's, started out in Amber's situation. She was a night shift nurse, working a bazillion hours. Her husband, was in school or whatever he was doing. She hauled ass in this business, and now she picks up like a couple shifts a month for some extra money to keep her, nursing credentials up. She works Beachbody full time. She does amazing. She's like a 5-star diamond, whatever. They built a new house. They're moving. They don't have to worry about her getting a new job because she has Beachbody. Like, share somebody else's story that resonates with you if you don't have a story yet. So that's a coaching post. A great time to post coaching posts is Sunday night, because everybody's getting ready for their work week. Everybody's sitting on the couch, catching up on some TV, scrolling Facebook, thinking about how they don't want to go back to school on Monday. They don't want to go back to work on Monday. And you're there sharing this awesome story about why you love what you do, and the fact that like you're basically getting paid to drink this amazing shake, help people change their lives, get fit, be in the healthiest shape of your life. And people are going to be like, oh, what am I doing going to work tomorrow? Like, that's what's going to go through people's heads. Even if you work, like, I work, I do it on the side. Like, I do it in addition to whatever else I do. And I talk about that. I need to talk about that more, actually. But that is a great time to do coaching posts, because that's when a lot of people are online, and a lot of people are thinking about why they're not happy in their job on Sunday night, because that's, people are coming off the weekend. They don't want to go back to work. So, for you to share your story, or share the story of somebody else who was able to quit their full-time job and do this full-time, or whatever inspires you to do this, whatever, you want to talk about, that's what's going to inspire your people too. Okay. Then the other type of post is lifestyle post. Posting about you as a person, as a human, outside of what Beachbody is. This is all of your normal posts that you usually post. The only thing with these is this isn't just, so like, I know before I started Beachbody, I would put up a picture and I would be like, look at me, this is what I'm doing. The end, bye. And it was kind of like, the me show in a bad way. And people want to see themselves in your shoes, in your life, and they're interested in your life, and the way that you make it cool. So when you do lifestyle posts, I like to add some kind of value. And the way that I do that is like, I do a lot of cooking stuff, because like I always shared food posts before, so that's not out of the normal for me. And mostly I'm a mom now, so cooking is hard. But like, I used to love to cook. So I used to share food stuff all the time and garden stuff. And so if I was, sharing a post about my garden, I would add in some little tidbit that's helpful to somebody. So like I might say, here's my awesome garden before. And now I will say, here's my awesome garden that last year I started doing something called lasagna gardening, where I basically dump a bunch of stuff on the soil in fall and just let it sit through the winter. And then come spring, like I don't have to do anything. I can just plant and I don't have any weeds. And somebody's going to be like, that's awesome. I don't want weeds. Um,
Yeah, it would be awesome.
yeah, it's awesome. So, that's the thing. It's like, oh, cool. That's really neat. And somebody's going to be like, oh, that's a great idea. Tell me more. And it's just one more way to kind of get engagement on your post. If you're sharing about your family, or like Christy, about your motorcycle, like share something about, like, I don't know, like some tip or something that you do that makes life easier for yourself when you're riding on the back of a bike. Like, I don't know, like I've seen those people with those like funny looking like hair tie ups or whatever, like you wrap your hair in leather. I have no idea. Like, or maybe you use those. I have no idea.
No, I'm not girly enough for that. I just hope that the knots aren't too bad.
But whatever happens to be, like share, pictures of you, pictures of your family, like show that you're a real person with a real life and you have other real people in your life. That's basically it. Like, I share, mom hack tips all the time. Like I found these great pouches, like refillable pouches on Amazon for Garrett. And so like when he was like, just starting to do solid foods, like I would make up pouches and fill them, and I would like share the recipe that I used. And then like I'd throw them in the freezer and I could pull them out the night before and defrost them in the refrigerator and send them with him to daycare. I talk about that all the time. Just something that you do, like meal prep or life, like a life hack, like a cleaning trick, anything. Like it doesn't matter what it is. And the goal for those is to add value to somebody else's life, either by sharing information that is useful to them or doing an entertaining post. That's the other thing that you can do lifestyle wise, is like share something in your life that's ridiculous that happened to you that's going to make somebody laugh.
Like when I flooded my kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes. You'd be like, I have a problem.
Yeah, I do.
Don't do it. Exactly. So that's kind of like what a lifestyle post is. And those are the kinds of posts that you do. Now, the key to posting, like overall throughout the week, is the way that the Facebook algorithms are. It used to be like when I first came in, it was post 3 to 5 times a day, one post about Beachbody. And now they're saying, they being people who know, post 1 to 2 times a day, really high quality content. Every couple of posts is something Beachbody or fitness or, nutrition related. That way, and the reason for this is people just kind of, it used to be that people would just post a post. And now what's getting the most traction are really high quality posts. So these are like the posts that, you put thought into. It might be one of your longer posts. Maybe you do a long post and you do like a quick little like, engagement post in the morning. And then later that day, you do a long-winded post that you've put a lot of time and energy in. Maybe you do one post a day and all it is just like, I figured out how awesome, grocery store pickup is or something like that. And you talk about like why it's changed your life. So you only need to post 1 or 2 times a day, but the quality of information that you put out there really needs to be stellar. If you want to send me a post that you're going to put up and have me just kind of read through it, like I'm happy to, or like post it in the chat thread that we have here, ask for feedback on it if you're not sure. Jennifer asked a good question, which was scared about posting the wrong information on Beachbody. I don't know what that is. Scared about, maybe just afraid to post the wrong thing. What I will say about that is it's impossible. You cannot post the wrong thing. You can post things that don't get as much traction, and then you know that maybe that doesn't work for you. You can post things that make people mad, and that's not on you, that's on them. And if they're mad at something that you post, they're not your people. The only things that are, I would say, you may want to consider not posting are religion and politics. Only because typically people are very divided. So you're going to isolate half of your friends list by posting things like that. And we want to help everybody. If they're on their friend, if you're on their friends list, they're friends with you for a reason. And it just isn't good business sense to just isolate half of them because you have an opinion. Amber?
Or vaccines.
Oh, yeah.
That I think that's almost surpassed politics.
Oh,
In the light people's hair on fire real fast. And ironically, like, I didn't even realize how many people I had on my Facebook that are staunchly against my views on it until I accidentally made a comment on something. So yeah, just don't even go there. It's not worth it.
A good point too. Yeah. So if you feel like somebody might, if it's going to cause drama, don't post it. Let's say that. If people are going to get in arguments or have extremely strong views on what you're posting, you're still welcome to post it, of course. Like, nobody's saying don't, but just be aware that that might isolate some people on your friends list who you may want to connect with in the future. The other part of that is don't air your dirty laundry on Facebook. If you're going through tough shit right now, by all means, take care of yourself, but don't stir shit up in your personal life on your posts, because that pisses people off. And that's just, I don't know, when you attack somebody in your personal life through a post, it just makes you look like a jerk, no matter who you are and no matter who's in the wrong. It just makes you look like a jerk. And there is a way to post about it in a constructive way, but usually that happens after you're done going through it. Amber?
You can talk about negative things.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't be, I don't know. There's a difference between sharing hard times that you're going through and bitching or vague booking a new asshole to somebody. Those are, I think, more of what Alana is like aiming for. But by all means, like, if you're going through a struggle, that might be something that someone else is going through as well. Like, you can share that kind of stuff. You just have to be careful that you're not like, my husband is the worst and life is hard because he sucks, or my best friend totally didn't invite me to this and I hate her forever. Like, those kind of posts, one, people look at you like you're just a complainer, and two, they also can look at you like in the back of their mind, they're like, shoot, if I get involved with this person and I piss her off, she's gonna like air my crap out on Facebook. And it's just not, I think somewhat people will subconsciously kind of think like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to do what she's doing because I'm going to be like this person that complains all the time and, is angry at people. People just aren't attracted to that.
Right, exactly. That is a very good point too, because so like, there is a way to do it. Like, and like Amber said, it's okay to post about negative stuff. Like, I am struggling with seasonal depression right now, and I'm trying to be very open about it because it's shitty. I don't like it, but there are things that I know how to do now that are okay. And I also know that if I don't take care of myself for a day or two, that the next day is crappy. So rather than me just being like, I hate my life, help, like, that's not going to help anybody. But if I say, I didn't do right by myself, and this is sucky, but I'm still here. I'm still working out. I'm still drinking my shake. And I know that I need to do better, and this is what I do to make myself feel better. Those kinds of things. Like, it can be negative, and you don't even necessarily have to put a positive spin on it. Like, if it's something really terrible, like, don't feel like you have to put a positive spin on it, but just don't be a victim about it. Be a Amber, what did Brooke Castillo call it? Victim mindset versus I know. I think I have it here. Dun, dun, dun. We'll get to it. Words. In a minute. Here we go. This is going to drive me crazy.
It sounds like just tact and self-awareness.
Yes. Yes, it is. Sure, it's in my previously played. Vulnerability versus victim mentality. That's what it is. So it's great to be vulnerable because people see you for that. But when you become a victim, nobody wants to listen to a victim because they know that you're just bitching and moaning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. Okay, I think I answered the questions that were on the chat. Okay. Anything that you're struggling with or that you have questions about posting?
My biggest struggle with posting is just that I have my Facebook set to be, it's just my private people. It's the same people I know in real life. So anything that I post, I can anticipate the responses. I can calculate what's going to happen. Like, even if it's one of the controversial, like a political post, the people that are on my page can handle that and have an intelligent discussion, and there's not a big deal. So it's I don't know if it's my anxiety. It's probably my anxiety because my anxiety is so much fun. Posting new things that are different and out of the norm. I'm really working on that. Like, I put up a post last Monday, that picture of me doing yoga, and I just asked everybody, what are you guys doing this morning? How are you guys starting Monday? And I was actually surprised at the people that had actually responded, because they aren't people that would normally respond to something like that. So I'm still just kind of like dipping my toes in.
Yeah.
I'm a baby stepper.
That's great.
Can I make a quick suggestion? The reason you probably got that surprise response is you were probably really authentically you when you posted that. So this is really going to be the point where you're going to want to know who you are and post your posts through your own voice. So it's not like you're going all Stepford Wives on your friends and changing the whole way you do everything. So you're going to want to put your spin on it. Like, I am foul mouthed as F. So sometimes when I make my posts, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm about to get real, and I'm going to talk with you guys about how I'm losing pounds off my ass, and this is how. My friends are going to look at that and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, this is real talk. This is how, Amber is. But if I went on there and I was like, this magical thing that I'm doing right now that is helping me lose all of this fat and it's making me act like a robot, then they're going to be like, she is drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't want to have any part of that. So the one half of it is going to need to be, for the people that you have on your Facebook right now, is going to need to be authentically you with your posts, and you obviously believe in the company, you believe in the products, or you wouldn't be even doing this. So, authentically be excited about the stuff that you're sharing and authentically mean what you're saying in your posts. The other half of it is, I don't know where your goals are with what you want to do with your business, but eventually if you want to really work the business, you're going to have to expand that network. And I know that seems really freaky because it's, like you said, everyone on your Facebook is people and you're private to just that, but you may have to somewhere on social media create an area where you can open that up to the public, because you're never going to expand your customer base. Your warm market is only so wide. You're going to need to kind of expand your horizons a little bit to reach out to more people, but you still be authentically you. Cause the last thing you want is like, I feel your personality is kind of a little like mine. Like you're not going to want cream puff customers. Like that's just not who you are. So you need to still, you know, expand your market, but you'll attract people that are more like you know, just the same as long as you stay true to yourself. Sorry, Alana, I just totally hijacked that.
No, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah. And another thing about posting, like when you're starting out, it's so easy to hide in a post and say, I don't know, like come across in a way. And so like when I figured this out, the way that I said it to myself was, okay, so you know when you first meet somebody and you're like, hi, my name's Lana, like I'm not crazy, like how are you? Nice to meet you. Like that is how I used to post. And now I post as though I am talking to Amber, because Amber is one of my best friends and we talk about everything. And so I speak to my Facebook audience as though I am talking to Amber or somebody else who already knows the crazy. Because if you try to hide it, people are going to pick up on it. But if you let it all hang out and you show people like this is the real you, then they're going to trust you faster and they're going to trust you more because they see that you are real and you are not hiding your crazy from the world and you own it. So talk to Facebook as though you're talking to your best friend. Don't hide behind the hi, nice to meet you. I am so pleased that we're friends. Like nobody wants to see that. So that's, you know, just kind of like let that be your voice. You know, whether it's on Instagram stories, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook, whatever platform you happen to be posting on. Any questions? We have like a minute. No? Okay. Cool. One quick thing, and we have like less than a minute. This weekend coming up is Super Saturday, which I dropped the ball on. Go to the Beachbody back office and look for a Super Saturday near you. And if you can find one, go to it. That is all. Because
do you know if your area is doing the online one again?
I don't know. I'll have to look because I know the Business Council has an event in somewhere near Raleigh because Haley Christian's speaking at it. But
okay, yeah, I know your area did a online one last Super Saturday. That's what I had to partake in. So
yeah,
I'll keep a look at it. If I find something, I'll share it.
Thanks. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hopping on. This will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. So
fancy.
Everybody have a YouTube channel, hopefully. Okay. If not, let me know. All right, guys. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye.